Obviously, Theo Walcott was in the news this week. What can you tell us about his situation at Arsenal at the moment?
His situation is simple, that he will stay with us and play for us.
So he won't go in this window, and you're, you're hoping to talk
yes,
about a contract?
Exactly.
Okay. And your attitude to the transfer window as a whole, because there's about a day and a half left, how anxious, how active are you?
We are active, but of course we do not want just to bring average players in. We want, if we find a special player who can give us a plus, we will do it. If not, we will not do it.
And just finally from me, how much are the ins dependent on the outs?
How much?
How much are the players coming in dependent on the players that might go?
Well, that's not necessarily linked with, for example, you might have one or two players going out without necessarily being compensated because they haven't played games for us. So it depends on the number of games they've played for us.
How much business do you expect to do in the next day and a half? And is it realistic that you can get your good targets, your top targets at this stage of the window?
I cannot answer that question in a realistic way because I don't know. That depends what kind of players are available, and it's difficult to know.
Is it likely that your top targets would be available at this stage? Clubs don't want to sell their best players, do they?
Normally, no. So do we.
Is Nicklas Bendtner leaving? Is there an agreement with Juventus?
There's a chance that he is leaving where is not decided at the moment.
Have you reached agreement with any club?
No.
Would you rather that be a permanent move or a loan? Or
we are open to anything.
Marouane Chamakh, is he leaving?
There again, we haven't got an agreement with anyone.
A wider question, are there any agreements in place with any clubs for ins or outs?
That is a much better question.
Thank you.
No.
What areas do you think you need to strengthen in your squad?
Getting our injured players back, like Wilshere and Rosicky, for us is the best way to strengthen our squad.
It was reported that you've reached a short-term agreement with Theo over his future. Could you explain what that means?
You should explain that to me because I don't know what that means. Theo has 1 year to go, and that's simple. After we do find an agreement with him to extend the contract or not for a longer period, that's what we want to do. And I think Theo is loves the club, contrary to what some media tried to describe him. He's not obsessed by money, just there's a little difference, but we hope that we can at some stage find an agreement. That's it, basically.